Okay, Dead Gang, I watched this 9-minute story that got over 272,000 likes in one day, so you wouldn't have to. And the reason why this video is going viral with over 2.9 million views is because this TikToker talks about how her Christmas Eve turned chaotic. I mean, it took a violent turn after an unexpected confrontation between her neighbor. Now, what started as a simple courtesy tap on the ceiling quickly escalated into an altercation that she also recorded and posted, and that video got over 201,000 likes. So now this TikToker's named Aja Red, and she had taken time off work to prepare for Christmas. She was wrapping gifts while her young son was sleeping in the living room. The neighbor, which is a woman who she had been friendly with, had previously asked for a courtesy knock if her apartment was ever too loud. Now, following the established pattern, Aja grabbed a broom and then tapped on the ceiling 3 times. However, as she would soon learn, the neighbor that she was trying to address had moved out with nobody knowing. So now the person living upstairs was unfamiliar to this established rule. And I'm talking about the situation escalated quickly, guys, when the new neighbor then knocked aggressively on her door. In the video that Aja shared, she described it as starting off very calm. But things quickly soured when the new neighbor confronted her at the door, basically saying, "Was that you tapping on the ceiling?" And Aja, she was definitely taken back by this direct confrontation, basically calmly just letting this new neighbor know that you were just being too loud. And the neighbor in the video was definitely not receptive. And the situation rapidly devolved into a heated argument. And guys, the altercation grew more intense when the neighbor allegedly refused to leave the doorstep, despite Aja telling her to go. "Please leave my door," she basically says multiple times in the video. The confrontation then took a violent turn. Then in the video, the woman is then like kind of yelling near the doorstep and reportedly dragged Aja outside of her home, even yanking off her wig in the process. Aja, barefoot and in a defensive stance, reacted by pulling her assailant into her home, locking the door, and then continuing to physically struggle with this lady. Basically, she's saying, "I'm not the one to play with." I mean, the situation reached a boiling point when the woman, the neighbor, is on the ground. And Aja is in full defense mode, reportedly just striking this woman. The neighbor is like saying, "Please let me go." But Aja, still in fight mode, basically refused to stop. I mean, the altercation continued until the neighbor had to walk out the back door, after which she was then shouting for help. I mean, this entire sequence was captured on a Ring camera, which Aja had set up earlier in the day to just monitor the situation. I mean, this footage was crucial in showing the violent escalation and her repeated request to tell the neighbor to leave her home. And she had also had another recording on her phone, which she showed us on TikTok. Now, the police arrived. They were able to view the footage and assess the whole situation. And the neighbor attempted to claim that she was dragged into that home against her will. But the evidence on the Ring camera told a totally different story. The neighbor had aggressively approached the door, refused to leave when asked, a clear indication that Aja was now in self-defense mode. And the police indicated that the neighbor could face charges for trespassing and assault, while Aja's actions were deemed justifiable. And despite the violence of the altercation, Aja remained calm when talking to the police, explaining the situation clearly. Basically saying, you don't go to somebody's house like that, especially when they have kids. And then she further said, like, she's lucky that it didn't even end worse. I mean, in the aftermath, Aja expresses her frustration on social media and basically just warning others about the possibility of aggressive confrontation. She basically said it could have been way worse. Just how unpredictable and dangerous these types of interreactions can be, especially during the holidays. I mean, this just serves as a reminder the importance of people's personal space and trying to maintain peaceful relationships with your neighbors. If she would have just said sorry and backed off, I mean, none of this would have happened the way that it did, like Aja said. But like I always say, Dead Gang, what do you think of this?